morning, Yeshivat Frisch. I'm Alex Massell, and this is a special edition of Frisch News. In light of the coronavirus, we have all been told to practice social distancing. What does this all mean, and how soon will things get back to normal? Carly Scheinfeld sat down with Rabbi Ciner to find out.
It's been 3 weeks since Yeshivat Frisch temporarily closed its doors to fend off the rapidly spreading coronavirus. I sat down with Rabbi Ciner to see what he's been up to during this challenging time. Have you learned any new skills or taken up any new hobbies while in quarantine?
Oh, that's a great question. Have I learned any new skills? I think I've learned to clean up a little better. I think that's a skill. I wouldn't say it's a new skill I've acquired, but I've fine-tuned it a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good thing to take care of it before Pesach.
Yeah, with decluttering correct and looking for chametz, I think that might be something. Also Peloton, if that's a skill. If we could say, I'm reintroduced to the skill of exercising.
Yeah, I count that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, what's your go-to quarantine snack?
So you know what? My go-to quarantine snack was frozen pizza, but as I quickly realized they were going to need a forklift to get me out of my house after quarantine. Now Yonina makes, she cuts up fruits and vegetables in the morning, and we can all go and snack through all day long. So I think all of us are appreciative of that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
What do you miss most about the Frisch building?
Oh, come on, being all together. I really miss seeing the students every day. I really miss seeing them. And I think more than I miss seeing them, I miss them not being together. I miss them. My heart goes out to the seniors. Obviously there are significantly worse things going on. We're thinking about all the people who are sick. Our thoughts and tefillot are with them and their loved ones. But in terms of our Frisch community on the day-to-day, I do think, this was the seniors' last hurrah, and I feel for them.
If you could draft one person to join your family quarantine, who would it be?
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Could get myself a little in trouble here, Carly. I think, can I say two people?
Yeah, sure.
My mom and my dad. We miss them. We miss not being able to see them.
Yeah, that's good. People want to know what's happening with the sweatshirts, the quarantine sweatshirts.
Oh, so Bob and John from Design and Stitch, they are working on it. It's a little hard because non-essential businesses are not allowed to operate right now, so it has to be paused for while that's in effect. But they started on it, and hopefully soon enough, though, Bezrat Hashem, all of this will soon be gone, and they'll be able to fix. They'll be able to make them quickly.
That's good. And last thing, before we go on break for Pesach, do you have any message you want to give the students?
Yeshivat Frisch, I know this has been difficult. It's been difficult for all of us. And I am confident that our tefillot will work. And soon enough, we will all be back together. This nightmare will be over. And I can't wait to see all of you soon.
Thank you, Rabbi Ciner, not just for today, but for giving so much of yourself to the students and faculty and families at Frisch.
Of course. Chag Sameach, Carly. So good to speak to you.
Me too.
Thank you, Carly. Well, it seems that all the news broadcasts these days have satellite studios, and ours is no different. But the wealth of technology at our fingertips allows us to zoom from one person to the next almost effortlessly, while still keeping our distance. And with that, here's Hannah Schachter with our man on the street.
We asked Frisch students what they're doing during their free time at home while social distancing. Here's what they said.
FaceTiming with our friends.
Woo!
Well, something I've been doing during quarantine, I cut 8 inches off of my hair, and I've been cooking a lot.
So here in quarantine, what we are doing, Jonathan Saracen has spearheaded this project. So we are printing little parts for PPEs, face shields that we're going to be making, and we'll be assembling them with shields.
I designed a part to adapt a face shield that had already been partially designed to make it more comfortable and easier to wear and assemble. And we're hoping to make a few hundred of them to distribute to local hospitals in need.
During quarantine, I have been watching a lot of rom-coms with my niece, who's in middle school. That's been a lot of fun. I've been staying with my sister, and it's been really nice to just be with family. I've also been just working on my writing and doing some drawing and trying to take a note from Shakespeare, who produced a lot of art during the plague, trying to take advantage in that sense.
I started doing more yoga and going on runs.
It's been nice to be able to finally reconnect with my family and just take a step back from the daily life of school.
For Frisch News, I'm Hannah Schachter.
Thank you, Hannah. Pesach is just around the corner, and that means, you guessed it, more questions. How is Pesach this year different than all other years? Our own Kayla Mantell looks for some answers.
However you've spent Pesach in the past, this year is definitely going to be different. But whether it's your first time at home or your first time just with your immediate family, some tried and true traditions will always stay the same. I sat down with Rabbi Bush to find out how to handle some of the mitzvot this year. Pesach is a time to welcome strangers or anyone in need of a place into our homes for the Seder. In the current times of quarantine, how must we maintain this mitzvah?
So the truth of the matter is that's a problem we face every year. We sit down at the Seder and we announce in the very beginning, whoever needs a place, join us. But wait a minute, that's a kind of a late to do that. Everybody at the table already has been invited, right? So perhaps it's the reminder, well, maybe I've already got a guest there and we want them to feel comfortable. But it also is a reminder that before we get there, we need to do certain things. And there's a special mitzvah of ma'od chitim, of making sure that other people who perhaps can't afford to have a meal, can't afford to make Pesach, can do so. And that's always true, but this year more than ever. Unfortunately, we know people are not working. People don't have the money they used to have in many cases, not all, but many people. And the special opportunity, it can't be in my house. That's not healthy. That's not right. I know my own family, we were all making plans who's going to sleep where and how that was going to work. And that's just not happening. It's going to be a very different kind of a Seder. But at the same time, there are more ways we can help other people have a Seder with tzedakah, because to make sure that other families, Tomchei Shabbos, in my area, Kupat Ezra, and all sorts of other special causes which are going to help families who can't afford to make Pesach to be able to do it. And that, I'm not bringing them into my house, but I'm making sure they have a Seder. And that's the best we can do, but it's not so bad. That's probably better. I think people would rather be with their own families than with somebody else's family.
And do you have any advice on how else we can enhance our observance of the mitzvah during this difficult time?
Yeah, I think there's something very important, because we're used to a celebration full of family and full of all the people we're comfortable with. And many families are going to be some people aren't even used to being home, as you said. Some people, they go to grandparents or cousins, or they go to hotels, and a lot of folks aren't used to it. And the crowds are going to be a lot smaller. And I think there's a mood, which is not the joyous Pesach mood. But think about the original Seder that took place the night before the Jews left. A lot of anxiety. Were they going to leave? Were they not going to leave? How was it going to work out? What was going to be? And there they were, celebrating freedom that hadn't yet happened. And it's not just that moment. It's something which we actually recite in the Seder, that we talk about the Seder, Mazkirin Yetziat Mizrayim Baleilot. We talk about, can we mention, how do you have a Seder when everything is not just dark, meaning nighttime dark, but when it's bleak? Think about it. How did people in 1940-something have a Seder, living in Europe, hiding, or just nervous and waiting, or maybe we just got away? How did people celebrate freedom when they didn't feel freedom? And I think there is a very real aspect, and that's part of what that Mishnah is about, to tell us that Mazkirin Yetziat Mitzrayim Baleilot means that even when it looks bleak, when it feels dark, this is a Seder of hope. It's a Seder which gives us a tremendous feeling that, look, God did the most amazing things for us, and God will do them again. For us this year, it's going to be just like the very first Seder in history, the one that we weren't sure where and how and what was going to be, but we somehow trust in God that it's going to be the way it's supposed to be. This one hopefully should be hope that will in the very near future be born out with a geula for everybody, a true time of redemption, and people should be saved from this very difficult time we're in, and we should move back to our usual time of true joy and be able to even come back to school in the very near future.
Amen. Thank you so much, Rabbi Bush, for your insight. For Frisch News, I'm Kayla Mantell.
Thank you, Kayla. By the way, if you have no idea if you've left, say, a bag of pretzels in your locker, don't worry. According to Rabbi Bush, there's no mitzvah at all to search, since we will have been out of school for more than 30 days before Pesach. However, if you know that you have a box of Oreos in there, you should sell it. Or if that's not possible, do bittul chametz and throw it out when you get back to school. For more information, please contact Rabbi Bush. Well, that's about it for us today in this special edition of Frisch News. Until next time, for the Frisch News Network, I'm Alex Massell. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching.